already know it's about to go down. EJ and Danny Garcia, it's about to go down, baby. Stay tuned.
Guess they forgot who I am and what I represent, what I stand for. It's the king.
Home sports, guys. Man, I'm so hype about this fight. I've been waiting on this fight for so long. God, I've been waiting on this fight for so long. I cannot wait. I want all these questions answered. Before we go any further, guys, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon button so you'll know when I do more videos. But if you're looking for a cream puff channel or a soft channel, somebody who's more politically correct, exit through the left damn door. This is about real boxing and about people that really knows about boxing. You know what I mean? And don't come to me with that. I don't want anybody on my channel who's a Lomachenko fan who really believes that he was just as good as Ali. If you're one of those delusional fans, nothing I say on this channel is going to help you out. You know what I mean? Because you're delusional. I want people that really knows about boxing or is trying to learn about boxing. You know what I mean? So anyway, for those people, hit the like, subscribe, and share button. And let's just keep on going. Man, like I said before, I have been waiting on this for like what's it been, 14 months? Oh my God. Anyway, when he beat Sean Porter, when Errol Spence beat Sean Porter, I was so happy. I was like, yes, he got that belt. He was going to go right in and fight Danny Garcia. And he was saying after the Danny Garcia, I either want Pacquiao or I want Bud, which I'm cool with. But then guess what happened? He had a wreck. So now, 14 months later, man, I got a lot of questions to be answered, man. You know, I'm picking Errol Spence in this fight. I'm just going to tell you that off the top, right? But I have a lot of unanswered questions, you know what I mean, about this fight. And that's how will he perform? How will he look now he's back off of that wreck? You know what I mean? Is there going to be anything that he's going to, that's going to show that he hasn't fully recovered? I know he said that the doctor said he's totally healed. No bleed on the brain, none of that kind of stuff. So I want to know. I want to see his performance. If he fights anything like he did with Mikey Garcia and Sean Porter, then I give all salute to Danny Garcia. If he beats that version of Errol Spence, hey, man, salute. But I'm not going to say just because Danny Garcia won, it was only because of Errol Spence wreck. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to take that from that man. I'm going to see how Errol Spence performs. If he gets out and he shows that he still has that hunger and he's not gun shy and he's coming out after Danny or whatever his game plan is, if he's willing to engage no matter what it is, if it's straight up boxing or brawling, you know, if he's trying to put Danny away, I want to see that. And if he shows any of that, Danny gets all the credit in the world. You know what I mean? And that's if Errol shows that the first round. If Errol shows that the first round, second round, Danny comes out and stops Errol, he gets credit. You know what I mean? I can't take it away from Danny. So before you guys go out there and say, oh man, it was only because Errol in a wreck, give it to the first round, see how Errol does, right? We know Errol is not a slow starter. He's a fast starter. And we'll see if he's camera shy, you know what I mean? If he's gun shy, so to speak. But anyway, let me give you the breakdown what I think about this fight. But I wanted to wait until it was close to time of the fight. I wanted to see about the weigh-in. That was my biggest thing. I wanted to see how Errol Spence looked at the weigh-in. I knew he was going to be on weight, but I wanted to see the look in his face. I wanted to see the determination in his eyes, how he seemed at that moment. Because it's a mental game at this point. You know what I mean? Both these guys are physically in shape. Both of them are ready. Both of them are cut up. I knew that. I knew Danny was going to make weight. I figured Errol would make weight because he started off a long time ago. He said since February working out, right? So I kind of knew that he'd be on weight. But I want to see how he looked coming in on weight. But he came in, Danny Garcia came in at 146 and a quarter. I think that's what it is. Or yeah, 146 and a quarter. I think that's what it was. And Errol Spence came in at 146 and a half, which is cool. So it let me know that it wasn't hard for him to make weight. So we're past that. Both these guys had an intense look in their face. I love how Danny Garcia looks. Danny Garcia had that determination look through all the press conferences. And the beauty of it was, no matter how much stuff his dad said or talked up the fight, Danny looks like he believed every word his dad said. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to back it up. When his dad talked, he just looked like this. Straight ahead. You know what I mean? It wasn't hardly no joking, none of that. Now, Angel went a little too far. His dad went a little too far with some of the stuff he said. Like, particularly, he said, Danny Garcia is the fighter that you look up to, right? Which he is. He's a good guy. But he said, but he's never been out drinking and driving. Hold up, man. There's certain things in boxing. There's certain lines, man. You don't have to cross those lines. You know what I mean? Keep it in the confined space of boxing. You know what I mean? You have to go take personal shots like that, but that's cool because maybe Earl knows where he's coming from, and that ain't gonna do him to give Earl more motivation. You know what I mean? But Danny stood like he's just sitting in the fire, like I'm ready for whatever. And when they asked Danny, how do you see the outcome in this fight? Danny's like, yeah, I'm ready. I feel good. I had a good training camp. The hard work is done. Now it's time to go in there and show the world what I can do. Perfect. So they went and asked Errol Spence when he came off the skills, hey, what do you think about the fight? He said, man, I'm ready. I want to show the world that I'm ready to go. I'm feeling good, had a good training camp, and I'm ready to go. That's what I wanted to hear. And the intense look in both those fighters' eyes, it looks like they're engaged and they're ready. You know what I mean? And that's the thing that I like about Errol Spence and Danny Garcia, Terrence Crawford, those guys, because those guys are not taking an easy road like other fighters. You know, Errol Spence could have took a tune-up fight, but he didn't take a tune-up fight. He was like, I'm going to fight Danny Garcia because that's going to challenge me and push me to get back to where I was. You know what I mean? Now, look at all these other fighters out here cherry picking. You know what I'm saying? Which is stupid. But that's why I have Terrence Crawford as my #1 pound-for-pound champion. Errol Spence is my #2 pound-for-pound champion until they fight. You know what I mean? And I got to see how Errol does in this fight, and that could change. But I need to see what Errol Spence does in this fight. It means the world to everybody because everybody's going to be looking to see if he's on point. Now I'm going to give you the breakdown of the fight. Okay. Danny Garcia. I think Danny Garcia is going to come out and try to start a little earlier because what he normally tends to do is at the beginning of the fights, he kind of lags back a little bit. He kind of takes a little bit to get his rhythm because I think what Danny Garcia does is he watches a fighter. Danny Garcia's timing is impeccable. I mean, he's one of the best at timing there is because he's a good counterpuncher. You know what I mean? And that's what he sets his whole thing up on. So the first couple of rounds, he's filling his guy out. He's getting his rhythm. He's getting the timing set. He's setting the pace. You know, like how Floyd does. He slots a little slower than Floyd. I'm not saying he's as good as boxer as Floyd, but his timing is good as Floyd. You know what I mean? His timing is good. So I think he goes out there. He watches his fighter. He doesn't rush into it. And that's what he did with Keith Thurman and Sean Porter. In the first few rounds, you know, like I said, slow starter. Second half of the fight, Danny Garcia really won some of them second halves of those fights. Danny Garcia brought it on. So he's going to have to start a lot sooner with Errol Spence because Errol Spence ain't in there just trying to box. If that's the Errol Spence that we see. Because the reason why I said that is because the way he fought Sean Porter is like a brawl. The way he fought Kell Brook was to break his man down. Now, when he fought Mikey Garcia, he didn't go in there trying to break Mikey Garcia down. He went there to give him a boxing show, put on a boxing clinic. You know what I mean? That's what he was really striving for, and he did that in all three of those fights. So all three fights were a little different, right? So depending on which fighter he wants to be that night is what we'll see take place with Danny Garcia. So I'm thinking Earl will come out, right? He'll have to press the fight like he normally does in the beginning. And I think Danny is going to be starting slow, trying to figure out what Earl's about to do. He can't do that with Earl because Earl's going to be hitting him with them body shots. That's what I believe. I think Earl's going to hit him with those body shots because I think Earl got something to prove. And he knows Danny starts slow, so he's going to take advantage of Danny's slow start. As second, third round comes, I think Danny is going to get out of there. He's going to try to find a rhythm a little bit faster because he got to do something to keep Earl off. Because Earl's not going to sit back and let you time him and get your timing together. That ain't how Earl works. Earl's like, while you playing around, I'm in here with my killer instinct trying to take you out, bro. And that's how he's going to come at him. So I think fourth, fifth round, it's going to be close. I think I'll start seeing Danny after some of those body shots. And I think Earl's got a lot of good angles, too. You know what I mean? I think that when Danny comes in, Danny can't afford to back up. He definitely can't back straight up. So Danny's going to have to take some quick turns. You know what I mean? And I think with Earl's going to turn right along with him because Earl is a master at cutting the ring off. So I think this is going to be an explosive fight. I got Earl beating Danny 9th round stoppage. If Earl is up on top of his game, I got 9th round stoppage. So, guys, please put your comments in the comment section. Make your fight prediction now. And make sure you guys tune in on tomorrow night, which is December the 5th. I'm going to go live. I'm not going to show the fight, but we will have a live to let you guys know I'm going to commentate the fight. You know what I mean? So come kick it with me. I have a little bit something more than this fight night. So I'm just going to be laid back kicking it. But like I said, if you one of them cream puff dudes and you're looking for one of them little weak channels, this ain't the channel, bro. go to the next channel. But if you want to talk hardcore boxing, hey, I'm with it. Even if you're going with Danny Garcia, I'm pulling for Spence. But if you're going with Danny Garcia, hey, man, hey, join on in. I can handle it. You know what I mean? That's what we do. We men. We talk trash. We debate. And then guess what? Tomorrow or later on tonight when the fight is over with, one of us going to have hard feelings and we can make up tomorrow. So that's straight up, guys. No chaser, man. Like I said before, like, subscribe, and share. So until tomorrow night, guys, or next video, hey, man, I'm out. Salute.